Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. Folks, this is one thing you need to realize that everything you've seen this week is just the beginning. Most have understood that Ripple is going to become the world's largest financial conglomerate thanks to XRP, the asset that will be the most valuable in the world. Honestly, I think some people have no idea what is coming for Ripple and XRP. Many laugh, few understand. Once it's official, the opportunity to create generational wealth will be gone forever. That's why XRP isn't mainstream. They want you out. There's no doubt that XRP is the new financial system. We're excited to welcome Patrick Witt from the White House Digital Assets Council to our keynote speaker lineup at Ripple Swell 2025. Options on XRP futures are live. The numbers are unreal. Since launching in May, over 567,000 XRP future contracts have traded on CME, representing a notional volume of $26.9 billion. This isn't retail noise. This is institutional demand moving quietly behind the scenes. XRP is no longer a speculative play. It has become a core financial instrument with deep liquidity and real market infrastructure. The bridge asset narrative is now unfolding on the world's largest regulated derivatives exchange. Introducing Ripple Prime, a one-stop shop.
Prime Broker is really a one-stop shop that allows all kinds of different asset managers, whether these are well-known hedge funds, trading desks, market makers. It gives them a one-stop shop venue to trade and clear everything from digital assets, derivatives, swaps, all kinds of different assets. And these guys are doing trillions of dollars of trades. Historically, those have been really owned by the traditional commercial banks, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs. Banks now don't do, well, new players like Hidden Road, a company Ripple bought recently, is new to this space, and they're growing very quickly by serving that same market, but also including digital assets as part of the mix. Having a well-capitalized, a super strong balance sheet player like Hidden Road is allowing more institutions to come into these asset classes against a well-capitalized counterparty, and that is Prime Brokers bringing people into crypto in 1 minute.
Think about that. That one acquisition right there, trillions of dollars will be coming through the XRP ledger. Now put on top of that Hidden Road. Hope you guys see what's happening here. If there was ever a doubt in your mind, you shouldn't have it anymore. Ondo Finance, tokenized real-world assets are becoming one of crypto's biggest markets. The total market for tokenized RWAs sits at $30 billion, nearly up 4 times in the last 2 years, highlighted by A16Z's Crypto State of Crypto 2025 report. To date, Ondo has tokenized over $1.8 billion in real-world assets. I gotta say it, my friends, the institutions are here. Lehman Barrett of Hedera Hashgraph on the resilience of DLTs on how security and robustness are a part of Hedera Hashgraph's makeup. So we need real security, ABFT. It's hard to achieve and speed at the same time, but that's what Hashgraph does.
The system is so fragile that shutting down one computer will shut down your whole network. That's a disaster. Maybe not when we're just playing some games right now, but when we go to using ledgers for important things in the real world, will it matter if you can shut it down for a few hours? Yes. If you could shut down all the banks in the world for a few hours, would that matter? That would be bad. If you could shut down a store, like, an online store, and the whole business shuts down for a few hours, would the business care? Yes, that would be bad. We cannot have that. We have to be able to survive DDoS attacks. Well, what if we're BFT, but we're not ABFT, but at least we take turns on which computer is the leader? Would that be good enough? No, sadly not, because you could keep attacking different computers. The attack could switch. So we need real security, ABFT. It's hard to achieve, and speed at the same time. But that's what Hashgraph does, and that's important. Furthermore, none of this technology matters. It never matters if you do not have good governance. You need people in charge of it who are competent, know what they're doing, and are trustworthy. If you can't trust them, all the technology in the world is useless. If the technology is constantly allowing the network to split, then there are severe problems. I don't want to store the real estate records of who owns a house on the network if it's going to split. The governors need to govern it and prevent the split. Because if you could have forking that allowed splits, then you could have a ledger that remembers who owns what house, and you could use that to do title searches. You could do that to find who owns a house, But then when it splits, you have two ledgers now that remembers who owns my house. And if I sell my house, one ledger might get updated and not the other one.
That right there is exactly why I'm a firm believer in HBAR and hash growth. They are doing stuff that other blockchain technologies can't. Mark my words, Cardano will be top 10 for sure, probably top 5 actually. Once utility kicks in, top 10 is going to look completely different. The Grayscale Squad just rang the New York Stock Exchange opening bell to toast the epic launch of the Crypto 5 ETF, starring XRP alongside Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and ADA. XRP's breakout to mainstream investing, game changer for crypto adoption. Who's loading up on their portfolio today? This is not financial advice. Do your own research. They don't need to take your money. They just need to make it digital, taxable, traceable, and eventually disappearable. Physical gold and silver can't be deleted. That's why the system hates them. Real experts understand what spectators don't.
As a speculator, it's my job to look at trends and try to position myself and my readers to benefit from those trends. That's all I'm doing here. As far as the bullion itself goes, I've said this multiple times. It's a classic Doug Caseyism. You know, the golden stocks and silver stocks, those are speculations, but the bullion itself, that's not the speculation. That we buy that for prudence. It's insurance, right? It is physical wealth. You can hold it in your hand and you can be long, and there's no counterparty risk. There's no short opposite to your long. And that, you know, I think I'm as diehard as the next stacker out there. I've got my own stacks, right? Third palm tree on the left, midnight gardening, all that stuff. I'm with everybody there. The difference is that I think people conflate these things, you know, the investment versus the insurance function. And as an investor, as a speculator, it's my job for my readers to help them make money, to keep the money they make, and not get wiped out if things go in ways we don't expect. And sorry, one more thing on this. For the people who are like, no, well, you know, this time is different, right? You know, we have the central bank buying, and we have all this profligacy. We have $1 trillion deficits during peacetime. I agree with all of those things.
Gold and silver will always stand the test of time. If you want to hold value, gold and silver is your safest bet. Ripple's making major moves in London. Reports say Ripple is in talks to lease a 90,000 square feet in Brookfield's newest skyscraper, one of the priciest, most elite office spaces in the city. This isn't just an office space, it's a statement. Global expansion, institutional confidence. XRP utility is on deck. And last up, Stellar. Lower fees, instant settlement, 24/7 access. Etherfuse is bringing bonds on chain and revolutionizing cross-border payments in the process. Etherfuse Dave broke it down at Meridian 2025.
So if I am in Brazil and I want to send somebody money in Mexico, I have to first convert from the real to USDT, which has an FX hit. And then I have to go from USDT to MXN, which has another FX hit, which is unfortunate because all I want to do is give my friend in Mexico some money. So Stable Bonds attempts to make this easy by creating assets denominated in those currencies that are restriction-free and can exist on-chain. So we can lower FX costs and we can create these rails. There's no intermediaries, and there should be little to no slippage, just fees based on the supply curve and 24/7 access. So the product we're launching recently is this stable bond in Brazil called the Tesouro. Tesouro is an LTN, a fixed rate LTN, if you're familiar with short-term treasuries here, denominated in the real. And we have that today. And that enables Brazilians to get on-chain in a yield-bearing asset denominated in their currencies and avoid a lot of these fees.
Keep on saying it. Multi-chain, multi-token system. Not going to be a one-winner-take-all. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.